Welcome to Joel Coliseum here in Winston-Salem. It's the Florida State Seminoles, off to a 5-3 start, playing their 4th game in the new year, taking on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who battled #1 Louisville to the wire this past Sunday. Big week in ACC play. Thank you for joining us on ACC Network Extra. Evan Budrovich here with Stan Luter getting you set for tip here in Winston-Salem. Why does this game matter? In the ACC Conference, Louisville and NC State have set themselves apart as the top 2 teams. But right here in the middle, Florida State and Wake Forest searching for a critical 5th win in conference as we hit the final month of ACC conference play. These teams have explosive scorers tonight. Stan, it starts with Morgan Jones for Florida State.
Love me some Morgan Jones, a 6'2 junior. Made big waves a couple of weeks ago with her 36-point performance against Clemson, winning a double overtime. But she's a great athlete. She can run the floor. She defends well. 7 of the 8 games Florida State's played this year, she's scored in double figures. And in her last 4 basketball games, she's averaging almost 20 points, shooting 55% and 5 rebounds. You're going to enjoy watching her in the open court today. And then Ivana Rodza continues to get better and better each and every basketball game. She makes plays, and she's deceptive with some of that. She scores in the mid-range. She'll take the occasional jump shot. She drives, but she's also very physical. How about this? 5 double-doubles this year, 13 on a career. She's had 4 20-point-plus basketball games this season alone. And if you want someone to make the big-time play, look no further than Ivana Rodza. The number 6 and number 8 scorers in the ACC, look for those 2 young ladies to have a battle tonight.
We're in for a pleasure tonight. You see Brooke Wyckoff for Florida State, 9 years as an assistant, promoted to the interim role this year, and certainly all eyes on Brooke, trying to lead this program back to an NCAA tournament here this year, and one of 4 players to be retired in Florida State history. As for Wake Forest, they are led by a dominant player in her career, Jen Hoover, 2nd all-time leading scorer, and is just 4 wins away from moving into the program ranks for winningest head coach in Wake Forest history. One thing the Demon Deacons did very well in their last performance against Louisville, it was defense, holding down the Cardinal to just 63 points. They're looking to bounce back after a 2-point loss in their last performance, while Florida State dropped a tough road contest to Georgia Tech, and these clubs are looking for a big win here tonight.
I think the first 5 or 6 minutes of this ball game are going to be very important for both teams. Psychologically, Wake Forest understands that they had a chance to get the big fish and they let it get off the hook, so they can't let that game carry over and not be mentally prepared. Florida State's been up and down this season, had some tough losses. How are they going to respond today? Wake Forest starts out in a little bit of man, a little matchup out of this.
We talked about Morgan Jones. Keep an eye on Courtney Weber as well. A couple of double-figure scores here for Brooke Wyckoff as the Florida State Seminoles start with the basketball here in Winston-Salem. And a nice dump down to Valencia Myers, who gets things started with
Myers has got really good hands. Not a big score for this basketball team. Primarily a shot blocker, but getting her off inside is going to be very important for Florida State tonight.
Starting 5 for Jen Hoover, featuring the freshman Jewel Spear, who's been explosive in her first year out of Texas. And that duo of Conti and Ratzo, over 100 starts each. And quickly, Wake Forest gets it in the hands of Ratzo.
And you see the athletic ability real quickly. Ratzo with the head and shoulder fake at the top of the key. One dribble gets her to the hole.
Bianca Jackson, the redshirt junior, is the point guard. She's the daughter of a coach and certainly one to lead this offense. Nearly 30 assists in conference play. Seminoles as a club, 71 points tonight. Their rotation about 8 deep, dealing with some injuries this year. As here's Jackson late in the shot clock missing, and a rebound defensively for Scruggs. Both these teams get a lot of production from their starting lineup as Spears left open in the corner and hits her first 3.
Great job in transition to get Spear going. Another one of those knockdown shooters, the 2nd leading 3-point shooter for Wake Forest. They score, and then they're in a half-court defense. An X factor for the Demon Deacons today, and we've already seen her involved, is going to be Scruggs, number 32. If she can rebound, if she can play good defense on the ball side and then score a few baskets, that's going to be a thing I think Wake Forest can look to get them over the hump tonight.
When Wake Forest wins games, they average 9 more rebounds than their opponent. To your point, Stan, as Cuisis is off on the 3. And a big rebound for Christina Moore underneath.
Well, you've got Scruggs inside 32 that can go inside as well as outside. And Christina Moore, another one of the Demon Deacon players that continues to get better and better every game, averaging almost 4 rebounds a ball game.
Rotz has been not afraid to shoot early in this one, but off on the 3. And Myers has the board. This Florida State team has had plenty of games rearranged with COVID procedures this year. So they're happy to be back on the court. And Myers with an early 4 points.
Already going inside to Myers. Again, a player that everything averages about 8 points a ball games. Not known as a big scorer. Her high was the first game of the season against Florida. But getting her going can help outside game as well.
Here's Scruggs. You talked about earlier, Stan. We have a 3 in the key on Mora. An early turnover for Wake Forest. Florida State this far, you see just 8 games on the year trying to get their schedule up leading in. Right now, as of today, an 8 seed in the NCAA tournament. Brooke Wyckoff told us coming in she needs her team to find their rhythm, and this is a critical stretch in conference play. That magic number of 13 is important as well. Quasis is off on the 3. And a foul over the top. That's Courtney Weber reaching in, trying to strip it away from Jewel Spear.
Nice box out there by the freshman from Texas, Spear, who has continued to improve her ball game. Her last 5 games from 3-point range, she's 5 out of 19. But most importantly, she's doing all the little things, running the floor, playing good defense, and in that case, rebounding on the box. Here's
Gina Conti, the assist maker for this offense, as she sets up Ratza, and the baseline jumper is pure.
How many times have those two done that? Gina Conti, fast approaching the top 5 all time in assist makers for Wake Forest basketball. Finds her old roommate, mid-range jumper. These two are playing well today.
Wake Forest off to a nice start offensively as Jackson is off. And all of a sudden, the Florida State Seminoles, just a 2 of 6 start shooting. How about Gina Conti? Needs 1 more assist to move into the top 5.
Now you watch players, and I'm fortunate enough to watch her career. And she's gotten better and valued the basketball. This year she's been more aggressive. Assist her down at this point in the season because she's scoring the ball a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, nobody I'd rather have the ball in their hands in the clutch moments than Gina Conti.
Good steal by Jones, running the break. Jones into the lane, but can't finish. Slow start for the Seminoles here on the road. We have just 1 road win in this young season.
Look to post up. You can't score there. You go inside out. Mora's got a little jump hook.
And Mora is off. Second chance for Scruggs. And Myers came up with it. Great play in the lane. 4 minutes in, the Seminoles shooting about 25%. So they leave it off for Quasis, who hits the 3.
And if you've not seen Sammy Bosa's play, you're in for a treat. If she gets her feet set, one of the better knockdown shooters in the ACC, her 19th 3-point basket of the season. Again, a player that you got to keep your eye on in transition, also on the half-court set.
Florida State looking to cause havoc. And this is a jump ball, possession Wake Forest. But the defense of the Seminoles active in these opening minutes.
You look at Conti there, and you just continue to marvel at the success she's had. 84 assists her freshman year, moved her sophomore year to 147 last year. Had 148 assists. This year, not quite as many. Obviously, haven't played as many ball games. And as I said a moment ago, looking to score a little more than she has in the past.
The Grove City, Ohio product looking to close out her senior season with a statement. As Spear gets the friendly roll.
Earlier in the year, obviously, as a freshman, a little tentative, wouldn't have taken that shot. Now Spear goes inside, very comfortable, very confident with the shot.
And that's coming off a 1 of 6 shooting night in her last performance. Nice start in this first quarter as you see Wake Forest 4 of 6 shooting in this first quarter. There's Jackson driving in, trying to beat the defense of Ratza. Mora there with the rebound. Wake Forest went to the wire with #1 Louisville on Sunday, and Gina Conti looks to continue as she'll go to the free throw line and we come back. Wake Forest rolling with Jewel Spear, the freshman, getting hot. The Demon Deacons up 2 here in Winston-Salem. Florida State and Wake Forest right in the middle of the ACC standings, part of a league with 9 teams in the top 50 in net rankings. And certainly tonight, 2 clubs looking to move themselves forward in the conference, pick up a critical 5th win.
This is a big basketball game. We're turning the corner. We're almost in February. You start to worry about your ACC record for seeding in the conference tournament. You're worried about your net ranking for possibilities of going to the NCAA tournament. And so both teams, it's been a crazy year, as we all know. Everybody please stay safe. But now you've got to lock in and value every basketball game, and you got to try to get the win. This would be a huge win for the Demon Deacons and their psyche after that tough loss on Sunday afternoon.
Gina Conti, an 86% free throw shooter, makes boast. And now Wake Forest with its largest lead of the night.
After the made free throw, you see a little token pressure. Haven't heard much out of Jones so far in this ball game. Conti and Jones matched up right now.
Here's Sayani Lassiter, number 3 in the black, checking in for her first minutes. A player who's super athletic, according to Coach Brooke Wyckoff. Trying to wiggle the pass in there.
Gets limited time, but can be a spot shooter. Came in the game against Georgia Tech the other day and knocked down a bunch of threes. And is not getting a lot of time, but enough time that she can be scary. And with the thin bench that Florida State has, any contribution that she can make is going to be a good thing. There you go. That's the athleticism.
That's Morgan Jones with the miss. Baldwin the rebound. And a jump ball. Possession goes to Florida State. It's River Baldwin, the sophomore out of Alabama, working on the glass.
You bring River Baldwin in, you know you're going to get a banger, somebody that can get some rebounds, can step out and make some jump shots if need be, but she does a really good job on the glass and can block shots.
Florida State off to a 3 of 10 shooting start in this one. So they laid on the sub. Lassiter with off on the 3. An offensive rebound for Weber.
Second chance opportunities, very, very important for both teams, but especially Florida State. They're trying to limit possessions. They don't want to give chances to get runouts.
Quasis, a 1 for 3 start shooting. Here's Wake Forest building on a 4-point lead. Working it into Tarazzi. Scruggs left open. And the Fayetteville product can't hit the 3. Early in this basketball game, 4 points for Valencia Myers as Florida State's worked in the post in these first 7 minutes. Here's Baldwin trying to get past her defender, sets up Quasis, and another missed 3. Back comes Gina Conti, 1 assist away from moving into the top 5 in Wake Forest program history. Good dump down to Sumio, who's stripped. Jones running and gunning, stepping through the lane, but she couldn't finish. Good board by Razzi. A little bit of pace here in this first quarter as Conti dishes it out. And the freshman can't make it count. Spear with the miss. These teams last met in the ACC Conference Tournament. Wake Forest knows how close they were just this past Sunday, battling #1 Louisville to the final seconds. And off to a nice start in this first quarter at home. Long 2 is nailed. That's Courtney Weber, the junior from Louisiana.
Another one of those players, a veteran player for Florida State that can step up and make shots. Second leading scorer, averaging about 13. Weber, Jones have been leading this offensive flame, but you get some other people involved scoring today. That's going to help them, the Seminoles, and for the Demon Deacons, again, it's being scoring when you get the opportunity.
Boy, Scruggs blew into Baldwin. That's a foul on River Baldwin, her first. Sending Alexandria Scruggs, the sophomore from Fayetteville, North Carolina, to the free throw line.
What you like about Scruggs is her ability to go both inside and outside. Catches off the screen, good screen by Samel, and then goes inside. A very physical player. Doesn't mind getting on the floor, diving after some loose balls. Has struggled scoring the ball as of late, but can put up some numbers. Had a nice game against Louisville with 11 points. And again, if she can score either second chance opportunities or in transition, that's a good thing for Wake Forest.
That's just the first miss from the free throw line tonight for Wake Forest, who comes into this game top 4 in the league in free throw shooting. Going to be a fun chess match the way both these clubs work it offensively.
Nice.
Right back to work as Myers in the lane.
Been very active, little ball screen, slips the screen, gets inside, nice catch, turn and score by Valencia Myers.
Valencia Myers was recruited by Brooke Wyckoff when she was the recruiting coordinator, as we have a foul here away from the ball on Wake Forest.
Again, she's gotten off to a really nice start. There's a roll. She goes inside. Nobody goes with her, so she slips it and just catches it. Understanding where you are. A nice pass by the perimeter. Goes inside to the big Valencia Meyer with 6 early points tonight.
Brooke Wyckoff says Valencia Myers is involved in every play on the court for her team. That's how valuable she can be, the junior out of Ohio. Speaking of Ohio natives, Gina Conti continues to dish the rock out tonight. She has it right here in the corner. Excellent ball movement, sets up Spear. The freshman dashes in. And Florida State hanging tight defensively. Forcing a turnover. And Brooke Wyckoff's got to love it from her defense. Boyces can shoot from anywhere, but comes up short on a 3. Rebound, no good. Weber. And here's Florida State shooting 30% to start this first quarter.
They're running their sets, right? Look, a high ball screen action right there. Let's see if they look inside out. There you go.
Here's Ratza off the pick of Sumiel, getting to the free throw line. And Ivana Ratza hits the jump.
Yeah, and this is how Ratza's really scored as many points as she has. She goes inside at 6'2". You don't get anything in the post. They get the little down screen. She steps out, and the ability to get rid of the basketball off the shot so quickly. And then again, Ratza, fast approaching top 10 scorer all time in Wake history. And that's one of the reasons why.
Wake Forest trying to apply some pressure and a traveling violation on Myers. Stan, you mentioned Brooke Wyckoff here. She's the interim head coach and filling in for Sue Semrau, who is taking care of her mother in Seattle, Miss Rosemary. And Brooke was very excited for this opportunity, especially considering she's a Hall of Famer at Florida State, the class of 2011, and someone who's really taken advantage of her first year as the full-time head coach.
Similar set. Similar set.
Final possession.
Let's look inside
here in this first quarter. Ratza weaves in. Good strip. And a jump ball will stay here with 3 seconds left in the first.
Talk about it a lot when you see Wake Forest play. They do a great job of inbounds underneath, inbounds, side out of bounds scoring. Let's see if they got a little something set for this with 3 seconds.
In the hands of Conti, that's a smart option. Finds a shooter at the gun.
Bam!
3 is in. Wake Forest a 6-point lead as Olivia Sumiel hits the triple.
Inbounds under, final does the screen action dive, steps there wide open, her first 3-point basket of the year. Olivia, show us what you can do. Get it in. Puppies on the line. Knocks it down. Damon Deacons up by 6.
Gina Conti closes the first quarter with yet another assist as she moves into 5th all-time. 106 games in her career, and all of a sudden these numbers continuing to build from freshman year now to a possible all-conference guard. And she's top 10 in the conference.
And you can see those points per game per year, and you can see what we talked about a few moments ago, where she's scoring more, her field goal percentage has gotten better. I mean, Gina Conti is what you want. If I was going to start a basketball team, I'd want a guard like Gina Conti. She's smart, she's tough defender, she doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes, she gets you in the right place, and now she's got the confidence to make shots.
Speaking of shots, that's Bianca Jackson hitting the jumper.
And that's a person that, again, we talk about athletes and people that can make plays. Bianca Jackson, you mentioned a moment ago about her mom being the women's coach at Alabama State. Her dad was the men's coach at Alabama State until this past season. Lewis Jackson, Hall of Famer down there. But she's a really good athlete, and her role has changed this year a little bit.
Nice block by Jones, setting up the Seminoles in transition. Here's Jackson to the rim, and she heard your comment, Stan. 4 points.
Hey, I'm not going to say anything bad about you. I know your mom and your daddy. I knew you when you were a child. I know what she can do. Transferred from South Carolina, was a scorer there. Now has kind of changed her role just a bit, but Bianca Jackson is a premier player for Florida State.
Good pressure in the corner as Ratza looks to escape.
But one of the things you've got to do if you're Wake Forest is ball movement. Ball and people movement gets you baskets.
Scruggs late in the clock, and that's an offensive foul on Scruggs.
Yeah. Plays breaking down. You try to drive with the clock there. Good defensive play that time, taking the charge. But I think that was by Myers. Was that Myers?
Yeah,
that was Myers. Yes, indeed.
The defensive spark plug for this team.
Talk about players that have continued to evolve. Valencia Myers, number 8, as far as shot blocks, one of the top in the conference, unforced turnover.
Florida State just their 2nd turnover of this game. They've been pretty secure with the basketball.
And that's one of the things that's been bothering them. They're number 10 in the conference in turnovers. There's a ball screen action by Myers. She recognizes that of Jackson. No need to drive. Take the little 10-footer off the pick and roll action. You can score all night long. Again, a good decision. Well coached, understood what she saw, scores the basket.
Wake Forest looking for its first points of this 2nd quarter. Shooting the basketball very well from deep today. And here's Kaya Harrison, number 2, getting her first minutes. Good shot fake by Horde. Trying to feed it off to Mora, who beats the defense for the layup.
Mora's tough inside. I mean, I just love her. She gets loose balls, she rebounds. Another player that's continued to get better as she's played at Wake Forest.
What a nice start for Valencia Myers tonight.
Yeah, really. I mean, she's getting great inside position. She's running the floor. You love to see your bigs run the floor.
Already 8 points for Myers. Scruggs zips one in. And the fadeaway is good for Mora.
I was just talking about it, and I have to say it again. That's why you love her, because she's got great hands. That was a bad pass by Scruggs, low and away, low and outside, and she's able to pick it up and find a way to score.
Mora averages 10 a night for Jen Hoover's club, as Jones is way off on that shot. Loose ball fought for, and it'll go to Wake Forest. A little scrum there on the baseline. That's Savannah Wilkinson, the redshirt junior from London, England. Working hard in her first minutes of the night.
Another player that's seen limited time with this shortened bench. I've had some players that have been injured, not able to play this year, or still waiting. But Wilkinson can give them some athleticism, gives them a little size. He's 6 feet tall.
Already in this first quarter plus, Florida State has had 9 players check in tonight. So Brooke Wyckoff not afraid to go to her bench. An excellent pressure there by Jackson, knocking it out.
See, those are the type of plays that you have to have when you're grinding a struggle. You saw Weber dive after the loose ball. You get a good chance of what your starters are doing.
Florida State dominated by those 3 starters in double figures. Get a lot of production in their scoring. Gonna need some help from the bench tonight. Shot clock to 5. Spear, the freshman, launches the 3, and
wow. Well, she scored over 2,000 points in her high school career down at the Colony down in Texas. So she understands how to score. And early in the year as a freshman, she had to learn how to play. She wouldn't have taken that shot late November, early December. Now she's very comfortable. She can knock down the mid-range jumper.
The pride of the Cougars in Colony, Texas, her 24th 3 of the year. Here's Jackson zipping in the lane. Conti affected the shot. Thrown it ahead. Nice setting up the offense here. Conti, no look to Mora, and denied. Second chance. Foul here on Wake Forest. That's on Olivia Sumiel. Just her first foul.
We've talked about Gina moving up the ladder as far as assists go. I think she heard us because that's a shot. She's in the paint, about 10 feet away. You got to put that one up. She makes the extra pass. Very unselfish, I might say. Makes the extra pass, not able to finish the play there. But that's what I'm talking about Conti. She thinks pass first, then score.
There's a reason Gina Conti now has 425 assists in her career. Always looking to set up her teammates. Myers. Working on Mora. Good rebound for Kaya Harrison working the pack. 3-on-1 to Conti, who finishes it off.
Nice job. Way to run the lane. Good decision. Nice little soft bounce pass. Conti ready to score.
There's 4 points for Conti in this first half. 5 different players have scored for Wake Forest tonight. The Seminoles are led by 8 from Valencia Myers down low. There's Weber, good free throw jumper.
Florida State has done a good job in trying to get other people involved. Jones was guarded by Harrison that time, couldn't get any action, but you get another player that's able to step up, take the mid-range shot. I like what they're doing. They're very patient right now. They're not forcing things.
Scruggs trying to break down the defense, and that's an offensive foul. Nice job by Siani Lassiter drawing the charge. Final 4 minutes when we come back is Wake Forest led by Gina Conti, the assist maker, and tonight the finisher. Coach Jen Hoover's club coming off a tough loss to Louisville this past Sunday, and right now, according to Charlie Cream, one of the first 4 teams out of the NCAA tournament. They have Ivana Ratza leading the show in scoring and looking for a statement win over Florida State. They have not beaten the Seminoles since 2014. Be a nice little ticket to add to that resume for Coach Hoover, who tonight has seen her club with Jewel Spear, the freshman, lead the charge. 8 points. Ivana Ratza has 6 herself in this first half.
Let's just see this final 4:41. How both teams execute, who plays well. Here we go. I'm about to say who executes well and who can play some good defense. Unforced turnover. And again, that's been one of the concerns for Florida State. They've had more assists than turnovers only 1 time this year. So again, you can't have, with a thin bench, you can't have those empty possessions.
Ratza getting some help with Harrison. Try a little one-on-one. Oh, zipped that one a bit strong and missed her target. A turnover for Wake Forest.
Hines comes in the ball game. Another one of those young freshmen, got some size. Hadn't played a lot of minutes, but you try to get her in here because you know what you want to do if you're Wake Forest. You want to keep some fresh legs because you know the Florida State bench is not as deep as it maybe traditionally has been. So you want to try to make some players make plays to give her a little few minutes there.
Both teams have had 9 players check in tonight. Lassiter on the shot fake, creates some space and can't finish.
But Wake Forest right now plays a more physical basketball game that can wear on you late in a ball game.
Good find from Conti and a block from behind. That's River Baldwin with the rejection, and it stays here.
River Baldwin had 31 blocks a season ago. That's her 12th. Really long arms, good size at 6'5". That's all basketball. The young player got an early lesson. Thought she had to. Not going to get it that time. River says, nope, we're stopping this.
River Baldwin was a state champion in shot put in her high school career and showing off the strength down low on that block. Nearly a steal for Jones. Almost a block as well. Making the basket is Jewel Spear.
Again, you've got to steal.
Oh, and a steal from Ratza. 4 quick points.
And that's the kind of plays you got to have. You got to be mentally into the basketball game. Big time play by Ratza. But Spear thought that she got fouled, stepped through the shot, got the contact. That's a 4-point swing there.
A foul on the drive. It's Bianca Jackson going to the free throw line. You know,
we said in the open and early on how Ratza's kind of deceptive. She's 6'2", but you don't think she's that physical. She got the rebound that started to play a moment ago, and then just the mental alertness to get the steal off the inbounds, to steal some points. And I mean, that's just the type of player that she has become over the course of a few years.
A college basketball hoop scoop, Bianca Jackson, the daughter of a coach at Alabama State. The transfer has really stepped up this year in minutes, 2nd on the club, and also double-figure score, 13 a game. Jewel Spear denied on the shot. That's Myers with the rejection. Poise is trying to run the break, but she gives it right away to Conti. Risky pass by Conti that finds Harrison, who's denied. That's Jackson.
3 of the last 4 possessions for Florida State have been unforced turnovers. Good hustle that time by Jackson. Her dad, Lewis, would like that. See her come from the weak side and get the block. He was a big-time scorer, one of the best scorers in Alabama State history, along with shot blocker. Hustle there, the athleticism, gets the block, sends it into the 2nd row. But Florida State can't continue to have empty trips.
4 blocks for Florida State tonight. Myers making life tough for Mora. Give her a 2nd block.
Valencia says, hey, take that away.
Now can Florida State take advantage on the offensive end? Jackson drives in. Denied by Conti.
You know, Gina had a block the other day also. I mean, she's feeling like she wants to add to the shot blocking list for Wake Forest. But again, you're getting players driving, going downhill, trying to make plays. Watch Gina Conti right here. Goes inside, gets the shot block, and kind of did it like she knows what she was doing there. We think her was an assist person, not a shot blocker.
Only 6 blocks, but she made that one look pretty good, Stan. It's late in the clock. Weber is fouled on her way up. And Wake Forest 1 foul away from the bonus here with 2:14 to go.
Yeah, this final 2:14, if you're Florida State, you just want to settle in, try to score some baskets, maybe go to the free throw line. That's good. Get some baskets, get some rest. And now you've got to be mentally tougher as you take a look at Courtney Weber, another one of those players that's a veteran for this basketball team as a junior, can make that mid-range jumper, can knock down some threes, and you can see exactly her scoring's gone down the last 3 basketball games. So you start to wonder if fatigue is beginning to set in because she's having to play more minutes.
One thing Weber has done well, shooting on the road, 52% from the field away from Tallahassee.
The thing that the coaches love about her is her leadership. I mean, she's involved throughout her outstanding career. And so now you're asking her to do a few more things: handle the ball, defend, score.
Speaking of scoring, Ratza on the miss. Scruggs the second chance, and she banks it in.
We talked about that early in the ball game. Scruggs' ability to play on the wing and also go inside and power up for a basket.
Wake Forest now an 11-point lead. This is their largest of the night. Jackson's pass is stolen by Scruggs. Numbers for Wake Forest. Instead, they'll reset with Ratza here, who launches a wing 3, hits another one.
Chris just wasn't, respecting the ability to take the jump shot, didn't come up and close out. Ratza has the ability to knock down threes, her 13th three-pointer of the season, so she can score inside, she can score outside. That's Ivana Ratza.
Ivana Ratza, double figures for the 8th straight game. Already 11 points in this first half. What a weapon for Coach Jen Hoover to have an all-conference talent, Ivana Ratza. Wake Forest winning this game with defense today, Stan. And how about in these wins versus losses? When they win, they're shutting down opponents, giving up just 56 points. We're seeing a lot of that tonight in the Navy Deacons.
Well, you got to win basketball games defensively. I mean, you can score all you want, but if you can't stop somebody, things aren't going to go well, and you can see exactly what's happening. The 74 points are given up. They played some decent basketball teams, but again, you got to be there. Number 13 overall in the ACC defensively, giving up a shade under 70 points a ball game, only scoring 68. So again, if the defense is playing with you well, you got a chance to win some games. Pick and roll action's been successful for Florida State, either going downhill or going into the block.
An air ball that time for Jackson, and all of a sudden Florida State's given up a 9-2 run.
Well, Wake Forest has done a good job either allowing them to score when Valencia Jones was scoring inside, or either stopping that drive action. And think about those steals, the balls off screen roll. So Florida State's got to do a better job moving people, moving basketball. Pick and roll.
Ratza's pass is stolen by Puisis. Florida State has not gotten much in transition, but Weber changes that with a 3.
And we just talked about Weber's leadership and her ability to knock down threes. She's the second leading three-point shooter on this Florida State team, only trailing Pusius. But that was a really good look in a mid-tempo action. Gets in the basket and their defense on the ball.
Conti is denied again by Valencia Myers. 3 blocks tonight. Rinse, wash, and repeat for Myers down low.
Valencia Myers having a nice game in the block, scoring, blocking shots.
She needs 3 more blocks to reach 100 in her career. Just a fantastic defensive year.
I think they got a foul on Pusius.
Just the first foul for Florida State in this quarter.
Play this right. Possession there is also Wake Forest, so you maybe can go 2 for 1 or score now and then get the ball to begin the second half. Good little dagger in.
Late in the first half in the hands of Gina Conti. Senior trapped with 1. Gets it off in time, and that ends half number 1 here in Winston-Salem. All Wake Forest, led by their defense in this first half. Demon Deacons up by 11 here at the break. Can they close it off? We'll find out after this in Winston-Salem.
You're watching the State Farm Halftime Report with Mark Packer, West Durham. Hope you're enjoying the ball game. We had an interesting discussion earlier this week when it concerns You're watching the State Farm Halftime Report with Mark Packer, West Durham. Hope you're enjoying the ball game. We had an interesting discussion earlier this week when it concerns dominance. And I never thought we'd get to this kind of comparison, but when you start to look at the numbers, Mark, which run is more impressive, Dabo Swinney and Clemson football or Tony Bennett and Virginia basketball?
And there may be some folks who are like, have these guys bumped their head? No, we have not. We know how good Clemson football and Dabo have been, right? I mean, college football playoff appearances, national championships. They've been on an amazing run, winning 6 consecutive ACC championships. But when you take a step back and look at what Tony Bennett has done at Virginia, and you start talking about taking inventory within the league of teams that are really, really good, and there's a bunch of them, look what Virginia has done in their last 63 ACC games. It's called woodshed. I mean, they're putting a hurting on everybody and their brother. They've got a winning record on everybody except for Duke, in which they're 500. But the numbers don't lie, Wes. You can go down that loss column and add them up pretty quickly. And you know what? You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 losses. That's it. 54-9. Hey, hello. Anybody paying attention? Tony Bennett is building a beast at the University of Virginia to the point where you can make the conversation that, hey, we are blessed in this league with not only from a football perspective what Clemson's doing, but right now Virginia is putting on a show.
And wait till you see where it stacks up, because after the Cavaliers' latest run on Monday night in the win against Syracuse, Virginia now has a 7-game lead in the loss column against the next closest contender in that time frame. And we're talking about Duke, who's 47-16, Mark. So when you start looking at the numbers, and we coined the old phrase, the numbers never lie, do they?
Well, the thing you do know is when you start talking about ACC men's basketball, you're not looking for any cupcakes here. We got teams with serious DNA, right? Duke, Florida State, North Carolina, Louisville, the list goes on and on. Hey, you play a bunch of good teams in this league. You can't sit there and just say, "No, we're not going to play you guys. We'll catch y'all later." Virginia's playing everybody, and like I said, you immediately think of blue bloods with North Carolina and Duke, and of course Louisville's got great tradition, Syracuse too. But again, Tony Bennett in this era has really been doing some magical stuff in Charlottesville. Really impressive.
All right, 54-9 for Virginia when it comes to basketball. Is Clemson better? Oh yeah. Tigers are better. 58-5, Mark Packer. And you got to look long and hard to find the L's, Coach.
Yeah, it's stupid good here. And even that Notre Dame that you see there in the bottom right corner, that didn't include beating Notre Dame as an independent and beating Notre Dame in the college football playoff as an independent, or that number's 3-1 if you really want to throw in it. So the point of it is, Clemson, when you say Clemson football from a national perspective, it's an automatic. They're one of the blue bloods right now, the new bloods, if you will, with the dominance that Dabo's guys have had. But again, when you make the comparison about what Tony Bennett's doing right now in the ACC in men's basketball, keep telling you, we're blessed and lucky to have really great quality teams on both sides here with Clemson football, Virginia hoops, and others.
Well, and remember now, we showed you that margin Virginia had in basketball, 7 games against Duke. In the loss column for the Tigers, well, it's a little more expansive. 20-game difference, Pack, over Florida State, Miami, Pittsburgh, Virginia Tech, and North Carolina.
And maybe the most surprising number there is who's at number 2. I mean, the Noles, let's be honest, they have struggled the last couple of years. A lot of folks might not realize in the last 63 games, Florida State's in the number 2 spot, a distant number 2 behind Clemson right now.
Well, it's an interesting comparison. But you're right, ACC's fortunate to have 2 stalwarts, really, and both have validated their runs in the last 5 years with national championships. Interesting discussion, but it's always fun to drag the numbers out and take a look, isn't it? You learn something when you do little drills like this, and you look at it over a 3 to 5 year period, I think, Mark.
Yep, totally agree. Again, Virginia's got a lot of company in that basketball side. From a football perspective, we hope some more can join the Clemson Tigers and really make it fun.
Yep, we're looking forward to a second half ball game, but we're also looking forward to the second half of regular season play in ACC basketball. Hope you'll join us Monday through Friday, 7 to 10. Packer and Durham on ACC Network, and you've been watching the State Farm Halftime Report.
Welcome back to Winston-Salem. Wake Forest leading by 11 here at the break over Florida State. And so far in this first half, it's been all defense for the Demon Deacons, holding Florida State to just 34% shooting. And Ivana Ratza taking over on the offensive end. 11 points for Wake Forest here tonight. Here's our first half highlights.
Yeah, Evan, this young lady has been a silent assassin tonight. Valencia Myers gets involved in pick and roll action, does a great job showing the target with the right hand, uses the left hand to score. Pick and roll again, this time goes right in the mid block, a power dribble and score. She's had a very solid first half, but this young lady, Ivana Ross, just continues to show her versatility. Puts the ball on the floor, one dribble score. Puts the ball there, mid-range jump shot, knocks it in, score. Look at the spacing. Wake Forest has done a really nice job running their offense, and when they do, they get baskets. And another example of that's right there, Spear. The extra pass, Spear, who is continuing to get better and better as a freshman. Remember the name, Jewel Spears, has come up with some big-time shots. Watch this, crossover, under control, bam, knocks down the three. I hear you, Jewel. That's right.
So far in this first half, Wake Forest shooting the basketball well with Ratza and Spear both in double figures. And the Demon Deacons +7 on the boards. We mentioned turnovers coming in as well. Pretty even in that department here in this first half, as Florida State looks to shake off a tough shooting start to this game. Courtney Weber has 8 for the Florida State Seminoles, and that's been the top scorer for the road club tonight, along with Valencia Myers. And why this game matters in the ACC, we mentioned coming in, the 6th and 7th ranked teams in the conference here this week. But right now, with just a month to go in the regular season, so much on the line for these two. And how about this game tonight in overtime? Virginia Tech finds a way to beat NC State after they lost by 2 just a couple days ago.
Well, someone was just talking the other day about Louisville and NC State with both teams being undefeated. Well, I guess we've got that answer there. Hokey, hokey, ha! Okay.
Perfect. Wake Forest up 11 as we get set for the second half here in Winston-Salem. A couple of big-time scorers getting the show tonight here, Stan.
I like the fact that Wake Forest is getting involved in some isolations and scoring. They're moving the basketball inside out and finding the open person. We saw that the example at the end of the half of the Spears basket. So if I'm Wake Forest, I want to continue to play good defense and score. And you see Rodson's done a nice job in the first half. And if she can continue to score, remember we talked about when she's getting a high shooting percentage, when she's rebounding the basketball, Wake Forest usually comes out and win. And what can you say about Jules Spear? I mean, we mentioned the fact that she was 5 out of 19 in her last 5 games, but she's quickly going to another season high, 13 in the Miami game. So I like what they're doing. If I'm Florida State, I got to value the basketball. I got to get some stops. They've only shot over 45% 3 times this season. They've got to improve that shooting average.
That combo, the freshman Spear and the senior Ivana Ratza, leading the show for Wake Forest tonight. They work it into Christina Mora to start half number 2 and lays it in past Myers.
And that's a really good sign when you can go inside on the bounce to Mora, the left-handed. Sometimes I think they forget she's left-handed, and she works so well in the paint, she can score there. Next couple minutes are going to be huge for Florida State. They've got to get some scores, and they've got to get some stops.
Hueses is blocked by Scruggs from behind. Up ahead, and the transition layup no good. Free throws here for Jules Spear.
You saw, Evan, you saw a lot of it in the game against Louisville on Sunday, but Wake Forest really dominated some possessions on defense. You're seeing the same thing again today, and one of the reasons why they've got athleticism on the perimeter, led by Jules Spear. What she's been able to do on the defensive end has just been remarkable lately.
You see Jules Spear doubling her scoring after a tough shooting night against Louisville. But this freshman at the Colony, Texas, stepping up in double figures again tonight.
If you get her scoring and you can go inside, you know you're going to get, you can feel comfortable that you're going to get something out of Rodsa, and you feel comfortable with Gina Conti. That just makes this Wake Forest team even more and more tougher to beat. Bumping inside, it's offensive foul on the big yeah, 32.
That's Valencia Myers down there trying to clear some space. And Brooke Wyckoff's club looking for answers on the offensive end. Just 33% shooting in this game.
Myers and Mora were in the paint, and they were banging, and they're banging. I think the officials were going to take a look at this to see if this is a flagrant one or not. But I wouldn't get in the post and bang with Mora. She's too good. She gets great leverage. She's physical enough, and she's like I mentioned earlier, she's got the great hands inside.
Keep in mind, Wake Forest in wins this year, they allow just 56 points, and that defense has been on full display with players like Mora that you've talked about, Stan, making life tough for this Florida State offense.
Take a look right now. Pressure on the basketball, and then there's the banging. See, banging starts there, and you see it a little subtly. She got her one time, then she kind of got her a second time. I think this might be an F1. But I like it. I mean, I like a little physicality in the post. I mean, you know.
Just for clarification, a flagrant one, excessive or unnecessary. And as Stan mentioned, a little bit of those elbows being thrown. Not a legitimate play on the ball, which it was not. But it certainly depends on if that elbow hits her in the chest, if it hits her in the chin. And that's all an interpretation of our officials. Jeffrey and Billy Smith looking it over along with Maggie Timon.
And a good bit of officiating also. I mean, they saw it. They cleaned it up. They called a foul before it kind of get, you know, out of proportion. I think they're going to just say it's a common foul. It was a basketball play. I mean, there's going to be a little bumping inside. We're okay. They're okay. Morrow just go back inside, post up. Myers do the same thing. She said a good half.
Second foul on Myers, just a common foul on the floor.
Showing a little zone this time.
Second chance opportunity for Wake Forest. So Conti launches a three.
Gina Conti.
She moved into the top 5 in program assists tonight. Now she has 7 points with that triple. Boy, Puisis was wide open. Jones didn't see her, but Myers cleans it up.
Nice job just kind of working her way. They didn't see one, but caught the dribble penetration. And Myers, again, hands are ready. He's able to score.
Myers up to 10 points for Florida State.
Her season high 2 times already this year is 14. Headed against Virginia early in the year, and also the first game of the season against Florida. Now you got to get some other people to score the basketball if you're the Seminoles.
Ratza wants a corner three and comes up short. Connor Ratza shooting with confidence. 11 points tonight. Courtney Weber.
Nice.
Ooh, second chance, no. And a foul here on Florida State. Again, Christina Moore there defensively.
All day, every day.
And twice on Thursday night in the ACC.
No question about it. And she takes the physical, contact, and then she just goes back and just continues to play. I mean, I just love her game inside.
Well, Moore was recruited 3 years ago. She was the top Canadian prospect coming out of Toronto. And here's Ratza, speaking of good scorers, 13.
You see, they were concerned about the low block area that Moore created. So once you get it to high-low, the ability to put the ball on the floor for Ratza gets her an easy layup.
Another offensive foul. That's River Baldwin.
And watch this. These two have worked together so long and so well. Just a little catch. Popped to the post, and it was quick. It was really, really quick, but she was in triple threat position where she caught the ball, she could dribble, she could pass it, she could shoot it. She recognized there was nobody behind her, puts it on the floor, and Avonda gets another basket. And I guess her roommate gets another assist,
Nice combo, like peanut butter and jelly.
Great article in the Winston-Salem paper the other day by one of my good friends, John Dale, about these two. And they, coming from Ohio, coming from Serbia, one's a talker, one's kind of quiet. But their ability to make plays and fastly get into the record books at Wake Forest. Worth reading.
There's Morgan Jones trying to get her offense going. She's the 6th leading scorer in the league and a good start here in the third.
She's been quiet and needs some more baskets out of Jones.
That combo of Conti and Ratza, over 100 combined games together. Now both seniors for Jen Hoover's club. Now it's the freshman's turn. Spear with some
that's big time.
Free throw for Jewel Spear coming up.
Diamonds might be a girl's best friend, but I like Jewel. How about that? Watch this. Recognizes, continues. Goes up strong, knows she's going to get contact. She's ready for it. Continues, and you see Ivana say, yeah, that's my teammate. Big time play by the freshman from Texas.
14 points for Jewel Spear. And we talked about Ratza and Conti coming to this game. How about Spear leading the charge, now the leading scorer? Largest lead for Wake Forest now. Where's Florida State going to go to get some answers on offense?
Well, we got to get Myers involved. Got to get Myers involved in high-low. You got to get Jones involved in some way, somehow.
Speaking of Jones, here she goes in the lane, but can't hit the layup. That comes Wake Forest pushing it. Harrison to Conti. The reversal is off. Now Florida State wants to run, and Lassiter's wisely slowed down by Spear.
Plenty of time in this basketball game for Florida State to make that run. And remember, we mentioned they average about 71 points a basketball game, but they've got to take care of their possessions. And if you're Wake Forest, because you've got a nice lead right now, you've got to keep playing defense. You got to come out and contest shots, and you can't be careless with the ball.
That's Courtney Weber up to 10 points for Florida State. Spear's been busy tonight as she sets up Conti, and a turnover for Wake Forest, just their 8th. Gina Conti, by the way, the 3rd best assist to turnover ratio in Wake Forest history. You don't see too many of those from Conti.
Spear guarding Jones. Had a lot of success with the high ball screen action right now, so keep your eye on Meyer, 32. She's involved in the roll right now.
Jackson has it poked loose. Here's Harrison with the basketball. 3-on-2. Harrison takes it herself, and that's offensive. Siani Lassiter draws the charge.
I told you, Lassiter hasn't had a lot of minutes, but she's a smart play. Missed part of the season a year ago with a knee injury. Great defensive position. Above the circle. braces for contact, takes the charge. Another way you help your team. And think about this, in the last couple of possessions, Wake Forest has not scored out of those.
How can Florida State turn it into points on the other end? This is Jackson. Banking it in.
There you go.
6-0 run for Florida State.
Next dead ball gives you a timeout. So you just want to slow the tempo right now if you're Wake Forest. They had a lot of success with just little horns, high ball screen action.
And foul that time on Savannah. Wilkinson sends us to break. Wake Forest up by 15. Florida State trying to draw back here in the third on ACC Network Extra. Florida State, a much different club on the road in ACC conference play. One win that was at Virginia Tech. Scoring a bit down on the road. The shooting percentage certainly speaks the story. And tonight's stand, Florida State off to a slow start.
There's no adage that says you win all your games at home and you try to split on the road. And you can see Florida State in 4 games, 4.5 ball games on the road, has not had the success they want. And they've got to find a way to win some of these basketball games on the road. But again, at home, the Tucker Center, everything is nice. Getting out on the road is very difficult. Can they find a way to come back in this game?
Bonarazza makes both, putting her up to 15 points now.
Wake Forest, after the timeout and the made free throws, extends their defense a little bit. Just try to make Florida State work a little bit.
Florida State shooting much better in this third quarter at 50%. It's been the defense of the Deegans making life tough. Jackson on the miss.
Good look, though. I want to see her get more involved offensively, especially right now with Jones off the floor.
Ratza wants to go back to work.
Moore and Myers continue to bang inside.
Here's Spear, the freshman, laying it off to Mora. That's a tough shot as it rolls out. And Laster there to clean it up. Seminoles desperate to make a run
nice.
in the third quarter. Oh, but Jones missed it. Oh gosh, a shot that Bianca Jackson would want back. As Conti to the floor, and possession goes to Florida State.
Got everything you wanted for Florida State that time, and that's just been how this season has gone for them. You get a transition opportunity, drive inside. Jackson, a good athlete, just doesn't finish the play, and then you come back, a scramble ball, and it ends up back in the hands of Wake Forest, actually in Florida State on the tie-up. But those are missed opportunities that you can't get back sometimes.
If not said, Morgan Jones named much tonight. Just 2 points on 1 of 6 shooting. He's the 6th leading scorer in this conference.
This is just not thought offense. So there's a chance right there. Go one-on-one, doesn't do it. It's the ball game come to her.
Courtney Weber trying to heat up from 3. Rebound Puisis. Again, Jackson no. And last touch by Florida State. Coach Brooke Wyckoff trying to find her offense here on the road. Showed you those numbers, 13 less points a game away from Tallahassee. Bratza's had no trouble scoring that. Give her 17.
And one of the things that happens is you start, you don't concentrate, you're not paying attention. There's no way that Bratza can flash up the middle and no one gets a hand in their face.
Second 3 of the night for Courtney Weber. It's a leading scorer now for Florida State with 13 points. That's her average on the year as well.
She's a streaky shooter, smart young lady. ACC honor roll a couple of years. They need some baskets out of her right now.
And she got her degree in commercial entrepreneurship. Not an easy thing to do.
I tell you.
Nice pass from Conti into Mora, who beats River. And River Baldwin called for the foul.
I love it. I mean, I just you enjoy watching Mora, except being a low block to mid block player. She doesn't mind the contact. It doesn't bother. In fact, she kind of goes looks for it sometimes, and then she ends up finishing the play. And that's just a player that's gotten better, gotten stronger, in shape, and very, very confident. One thing you want your bigs to do is if you're going to get fouled, make your free throw. She's shooting 80, what, 80, 81, 82%.
That's 8th in the league, by the way.
Yeah. She'll adjust. She'll make this one.
I love the jump shot style in the free throw as well. She does miss both. Nearly got a steal there for Bratza.
That's old school Hal Greer. You don't know nothing about that.
Weber trying to continue her hot streak, but off on the layup. Up ahead to Conti. Gina takes it herself with the foul. Chance for a 3-point play.
You had the feeling Gina was going to take this down and pull up right there. There's a little hesitation right there and goes right inside. Takes the contact. Yeah, Gina Conti. That's what a senior will do for you. Watch this. Inside, takes the contact, gets the foul, possibility of a 3-point play.
The foul there on Isabella Nicoletti in her first minutes of this half.
Oh, my goodness.
Gina
missed the free throw.
She does not miss many. Just 8 misses on the year coming into tonight. How about Puisis letting it fly for 3?
Can't give her airspace. Can't allow her to catch and shoot. She's the best 3-point shooter on this team and one of the best in the ACC. That's a good look for her.
That 3's moved her to 25th in Florida State history. She's just a sophomore, by the way. That's a steal for Jones. Can the Seminoles make a run of this? Jones with the layup.
Smart play that time by Jones. Attacks Bratza, goes up strong, hope for contact, but if not, gets the basket.
5-0 run for the Seminoles. They're back within 13. Oh, a blocking foul on Jones. She wanted the charge. A little bit of pressure applied here from Florida State all of a sudden.
Well, that's what you expect him to do. To be athletic and make some plays. Watch this. Dribble penetration. Finds just too much room. She's a very good catch and shoot player. Knocks down that 18 coming in, and watch the defensive play. Gets on the floor, 2 bodies going down. Watch the smartness. Goes right there, attacks her inside. A little contact, not enough to call a foul, but that's what you expect out of Morgan Jones and out of Sammy Pusius.
Gina Conti stops the run as she's an 86% shooter from the charity stripe. Wake Forest, very odd. They've missed 4 free throws in this quarter.
Yeah, and you got to, like I said, play to win the basketball game, not to keep from losing if you're Wake Forest. Continue to be smart, continue to be aggressive, move the basketball, play good defense. Free throws hurt them a lot on Sunday's game against Louisville. See them like 12 or 24.
Weber wanted it. Wow, what a play.
That's what I like.
Myers over her head.
That's a horse shot. And that big lead that Demon Deacons had earlier in the quarter now is beginning to shrivel. Big possession right now for you. Same situation we had at the end of that quarter. Possessions error goes your way also.
Good drive by Harrison and offensive foul. Look at Valencia Myers doing it on one end and now on the defensive side.
Florida State comes back to win this ball game. A lot of credit's going to go to that young lady. 6 out of 7 from the field, got the rebounds. You like that. She gives up her body on one side, takes a charge, and then this time up and then a little flipper shot. That's a horse shot, I'm telling you. When you do that in the backyard, you knock somebody out.
3-second difference. Here's shot and game clock. Florida State can make this single digits down the stretch in this third quarter.
Got Pucius in the corner, Meyer on the low block, Jones on the other side. So you've got options if you drive.
6 on the clock for Myers. Myers backs down Sumiel and draws a foul. Just the 4th for Wake Forest, 1 away from the bonus.
Still plenty of time for Florida State. Going to be very smart inside. Talk off screens.
Jones looks up with 4. Into the lane. Jones can't finish. And that ends quarter number 3. The Florida State Seminoles climbing back here in this third quarter. A 7-1 run to close out the third. They trail Wake Forest by 12 here in Winston-Salem. Wake Forest jumped out to an impressive halftime lead. Here comes Florida State crawling back in, down 12 as we start the fourth quarter in Winston-Salem. It's been the Ivana Ratz's show today. 17 points for the Wake Forest senior.
Well, she needed 74 points going into this afternoon to move into the all-time top 10 scores. And you look at what she's been able to do here throughout this season. When they win, and we talked about the Open, when they win, she plays a certain way. When they've lost games, she's not been able to do so. Ivana's been in tune with her game tonight. What's the call?
And the officials are coming together here. So we have a timeout call by Wake Forest to avoid the 5-second call. When we come back, fourth quarter action here in Winston-Salem. Wake Forest up 12.
Yeah. There you go. I'd say. I hope not.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing about doing these games is like you work for Campbell. So it's okay to say we and they and, and you're pulling for them. But when you do these games, you're trying to be neutral sometimes,
Wake Forest led by their offense tonight. About 48% in the first half and over 50% in this third quarter. Now leading by 12 over Florida State.
They've done a good job for most of the ball game being connected with their offensive player. They've communicated well, rebounded well.
In wins, this Wake Forest team averages 75 points a game. They're right on line here as we start the fourth in Winston-Salem.
Don't know if there's going to be enough possessions for a 75-point tonight for the Demon Deacons.
Don't tell it, Paparazzi.
Well, I mean, that could be wrong. There's 56 there, but I think as this game slows down, you're gonna time and score are gonna be important. But if you got somebody after a timeout like Rodson, bam.
That's 19 now.
I thought the answer was 19 now.
On the other side of the coin, Morgan Jones, our player to watch, coming in, has just 4. Make it 6 on the nice finish.
Morgan Jones can do that against anyone, anytime. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brooks tries to get her in some one-on-one situations where she's going downhill, trying to either score or get fouled, or both.
Now Jones tries to guard Conti, who beats her the lane.
Understanding the game, make the pass, give and go.
12 points for Conti tonight. Florida State, meanwhile, just 9 assists in this game and a turnover that time. Myers couldn't save it.
Take a look at this. Pass, cut right to the basket. You got to jump in the direction of the pass if you're Florida State. And as the ball moves, the weak side defender's got to be there to help. Gina goes high post pass, basket cut, layup.
Ratza lets it fly, and that's way short. But look at Sumio there to clean it up.
Pass. Olivia Sumio's really had a nice season. She's at other end of what you see out of Mara. Good hands, not afraid of contact. She can finish plays inside.
Wake Forest with 6 different scorers tonight as Sumio gets on the board. Jackson late in the clock. Can't get the finish. And there's Spear up with it. Conti's not been afraid to drive in. Nifty finish, but no good. Here's Spear on the 3. Gets her own rebound. Second chance. No. Wake Forest has dominated the glass, but that's going to be a turnover. A bit for naught, but again, Wake Forest doing a nice job on the offensive.
Yeah, and you start to then wonder with 7:36 to go, Florida State getting a little bit, winded. It's been a physical game. Think about the names we've called lately. Olivia scored inside, Mara scored inside, Ratza's going inside scoring. Conti's hit the floor 4 or 5 times, and this begins to wear. And there was 3 opportunities for Wake Forest to score. They didn't do it, but you just saw that the relentlessness there on the offensive glass.
A foul here on Mora, trying to slow down Myers. Keep in mind, this Wake Forest team went right to the closing seconds against #1 Louisville. There's no moral victories in sports, but certainly confidence, and they're showing it tonight. As Weber can't hit the jumper. Loose ball to Florida State. Second chance for Courtney Weber, and she makes the count.
She's done a really nice job this season of being a catch and shooter, finding a spot shot. Ball comes to her, got her feet set, knocks down a huge 3. We got a ball game.
That's the 3rd triple for Florida State in this half, and all of a sudden, Stan Luter, Florida State hanging around here in the 4th.
You mentioned something about that moral victory, and I'm one of those people that say I'd rather not learn anything and get a win, than get a moral victory. And they played a good game. A chance to knock off #1, but down the stretch,
more on the beautiful.
Didn't have plays like that. It didn't make some free throws, and Dana's too good. It did clutch.
Yeah, 12 missed free throws on Sunday. They've done much better in that department today. As Conti's fouled, and we have some bodies on the floor here with 6:48 to go in the 4th.
I wish I was charting this tonight. How many times has Gina Conti hit the floor today? I mean, at least 6, maybe 7. I mean, not count. Maybe we'll start counting at 6:48. I got a feeling she hit the floor maybe once or twice when she gets back in the ball game.
Conti gets a much-needed rest here in this 4th quarter.
But you know what that is also? That's a senior understanding that the clock is winding down. And so every possession, every play is important. I mean, we've talked so much about wanting to play so badly during this pandemic, but that's also a senior. So she's playing with a sense of urgency right now, and you love it.
So now the freshman, Jewel Spear, takes over the point guard duties. Ratza, long pass to Spear. With the space, continues, 17 points.
You saw a little bit of the backcourt of the future with Harrison and Spear, and then Spear moves to the weak side and finds your spot. And again, talking about a player playing with a lot of confidence, Jewel Spear.
This is 6-point response for Wake Forest as Florida State started to crawl back in. 10 on the clock for Jackson.
Take this.
Nice defense from Wake Forest. Scruggs getting into the lane, and she thought about it, thought wisely of it. Wake Forest searching for a first win against Florida State since 2014.
They've had some close ball games here at the Joel over the last couple of years also, so You know, this would be a bittersweet win for them. They kind of helps that ranking.
We talked about it coming in.
February.
Wake Forest, the last 4 teams out, according to Charlie Cream in his latest bracketology. Jen Hoover got her first signature win, a ranked victory over Florida State 9 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Kind of comes full circle here tonight.
And she's fastly moving apart to they get first 4 in, first 4 out. You see it.
North Carolina and Wake Forest, couple of rivals in this conference. They've had a good battle this year, right on the bubble.
And they split, had a heck of a game. Well, both games were great games here in Chapel Hill. So, you know, Jen, Hall of Famer, has a chance in a couple of games to be the all-time winningest coach here at Wake Forest. Outstanding rebounder. And we think about Rodsa's been a great rebounder here, and Jen Hoover, and Derricka Hamby, and Tracy Connor Riddick. I mean, Wake Forest has some really solid inside players, and that's one of the best that's ever done it for Wake Forest.
Here's what's cooking tonight in Winston-Salem. The combination of Joel Spear and Ivana Rodsa, 32 points. Really making life tough for Florida State, that is minus 12 in the rebounding department. And their top dynamic duo looking to get going as well with Myers and Weber.
Florida State, if they've got to run it, they've got to make it now. And you think about Brooke, and just want to, again, wish our best wishes to Coach Sue and her family and mom and what they're doing. And, we're all pulling for you.
Some great news, by the way. Sue Semrau, her mother, Rosemary, had a negative test come back in her chemo treatment, which means she's on recovery.
That's great. That's what we're saying. We're pulling for you, and every day, every prayer. So, Miss Rosemary, hang in there. We got you. We got your back.
And Brooke Wyckoff, happy to be in the shoes of Sue this year as the interim head coach. Another miss for Florida State.
And it's been a learning curve for her as well. With all the things you've had to go through with COVID and health things, and then to come in there right now. So, it's been an experience for a lot of people. There you see it.
Big shoes to fill for Brooke Wyckoff, but honored to work under Sue Semrau. Look at this list of Hall of Famers, so many in the Atlantic Coast Conference, with Sylvia Hatchell winningest coach among this conference. the other side of the coin, Jen Hoover just 4 wins away from matching the Wake Forest program record.
Does she go into Hall of Fame 2 times as a Hall of Fame coach and a Hall of Fame player if she breaks this record?
How about a matchup of 2 coaches that are both in their Hall of Fames?
I'm telling you.
Hoover
nice.
And Wyckoff, and a good finish for Jones.
And a young lady that's got a great chance of going into the Florida State Hall of Fame in the future with more plays like that from Morgan Jones.
Slow start, but here's Jones up to 8 points all of a sudden. Maybe too little too late tonight for the Florida State Seminoles.
She's only had 1 game this year where she didn't score double figures, so I think she's going to get this. She's got to get some points up quickly.
And Ratza couldn't hang on to it.
And if this is the problem that Wake Forest has had in some games over the last couple of years, closing that game out, either it's a turnover, it's a costly foul, or it didn't get a rebound, or in the case of Sunday afternoon, not making free throws. Can Wake Forest close this basketball game?
Here's Isabella Nicoletti getting it off to Myers, who was so good in that first half. Second chance. Jackson's got to get going here. Shot clock at 7. Jackson zips it out, and Jones can't convert. Wake Forest has done an excellent job slowing down Jackson tonight.
They really have, but that was a situation there where you think that Jackson's going to take that little mid-range jump shot, or you get Jones to score. Don't get either one of that. Another missed opportunity. Good hedge.
Good pass by Conti. Mora takes her time, but lost it. Florida State needs points in a hurry.
Push it. Nice pass.
Good finish for Myers.
Very unselfish play that time by Jackson.
Here comes Florida State trying to hang around with 3 minutes to play.
If you're Wake Forest, protect the basketball. Understand time and score. Run the clock down about 7, 8 seconds and try to get a basket.
And Ratza continues.
Bam!
Running 3 points.
They moved her around. Starts her high, ends up low, gets great inside position, uses the left hand there. Nothing flashy, just efficient. Good inside position there. Defender's on your back. Double team comes a little late, comes a little slow. Ivana Ratza does the rest.
Ivana Ratza double figures in 9 straight games. Give her 20 for the 3rd time in 2021. A nice weapon for Jen Hoover tonight.
What, 1 3-point basket tonight? I mean, very, very, like I said, unassuming, very quiet, knocks down a 3.
Wake Forest basketball on the miss. Here for Poises. Florida State, those road woes certainly a big part on this year. Just 1 and 3 away from home, but this is a 4-game road trip for the Seminoles. They'll continue play Thursday of next week at North Carolina. Nice layup the other way as Wake Forest starting to pour it on with Sumiel.
Yeah, Jen needs to hold that little sequence right there and use it as a clinic tape. Show you how to beat the press. Keep the ball moving from side to side, cross court. Post comes up, catches and scores.
Jackson zips in. Nice layup. So if Wake Forest can finish this one out in the next 2 minutes, they'll have their first win over Florida State in 7 years.
Talk about those road woes, and they've got the next 4 ball games on the road.
Spear wanted another 3. There's Weber with the rebound.
Take it to the basket.
Courtney takes it.
There you go.
She's fouled by Conti.
You know what I would do? We're struggling on the road. You're 1 and 4 on the road right now. I would talk to the opposing team and tell them we had some problems with our uniforms, so we had to go back to wear our whites. And then I'd pipe in the Florida State chant and the music and just tell our girls, close your eyes and think you're in Tallahassee. You laughed, but we try to do anything you can to get a W.
A little paralysis by analysis to Stan Luger tonight. How about these teams at the free throw line? 2 of the best in the league. 3rd and 4th in this conference.
Yeah.
And Wake Forest, if they make their free throws on Sunday, they missed 12. They had a chance to beat #1 Louisville.
There's no question about it. This is the Florida State team that they've made more free throws. And that's something I always like looking at the box score. How many times did you shoot free throws? How many attempts? 7 of the 8 games they played, they've made more free throws than their opponents.
Here's a foul on Bianca Jackson. Yeah, Florida State, they make 15 a night, but how about just 4 of 6 today?
Yeah. Well, a lot of times when they went inside, Myers was scoring out of that. And then they started taking jump shots. The game got up tempo, and they weren't really able to get fouls and go to the free throw line. Stop the dribble drive.
Gina Conti, a calm, cool, collected, 12 points and 5 assists tonight. That's a foul the other way on Wake Forest. Kickball violation that time.
Always seems in control.
You know, Gina Conti was a track star and a volleyball player. I didn't know she added soccer to the resume.
Oh, she can do a little bit of everything.
One heck of an assist maker for this Wake Forest program. Moves into the top 5 all time tonight.
Keep attacking. There you go.
Nice drive by Jackson.
See, maybe seeing the ball go in the hole will give Jackson some confidence. She's not been a three-point shooter this year, but maybe she can drive, get some confidence, and maybe extend it, because they're going to need some points from a couple of players. Sammy didn't really get a lot of good looks in her three-point opportunities. Jones got started late. Myers gave her some baskets. Courtney Weber stepped in and did a nice job scoring with the opportunity. But when you're down, when you do not have the bodies, the constant bodies and players, you've got to find some weapons somehow, some people to step in and make some plays.
One player has stepped up for Wake Forest tonight, Gina Conti. She's looking to build on her 13 points. Great double figures now for Wake Forest. So we talked about 76 points for Wake Forest.
Well, I stand
corrected.
corrected. I stand corrected. You got some fouls, you got some turnovers, you got a basket.
Florida State looking for some life late, and Courtney Weber couldn't find her target, Valencia Myers.
You know, they've only had like a couple ball games. 70 points or better, they're 2 and 3, so they'll move that to 3 and 3. They had 85 early in the season. I think the second or third game of the year against Davidson, they put up 85, and then had 82 in a loss to Arkansas. So they really, you know, they stay about on their number of 67, 68 points a game. This is a solid win for Wake Forest. Big win for Wake Forest.
Florida State got it to as close as 11, and Wake Forest is pulled away here in the 4th. Spear has it poked loose. And a nice layup, Courtney Weber. Give her 22 points tonight. But it won't be enough for Florida State. First time in 7 years, Wake Forest picks up a win over the Florida State Seminoles and Jen Hoover's club. 5th win in the conference. They needed it tonight, sitting on the bubble entering this game.
Very impressive bounce back win after the very difficult and loss that they had on Sunday to #1 Louisville. This is what you want to find out about your basketball team. After you hit kick, can you get back up? They stepped up today, and for Florida State, you just got to continue to keep playing and playing and playing. Good things are going to happen for you.
Wake Forest with the win. 5-5 in the conference. It was the Ivana Ratza show with 24 points. 22 for Courtney Weber of the Seminoles as they come up short tonight. This is a presentation of ESPN. You can watch our coverage on the ESPN app. For Stan Luter, Evan Budrovich signing off from Winston-Salem. The Demon Deacons pick up their first win over Florida State since 2014 as Wake Forest wins by 14.